Hello and welcome to Better Positive You. I'm Dieter, and I just wanted to share something that I've been thinking with you. And that is, I've been thinking a lot about the statement in The Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And that was a very important statement in history. Happened, this movie slash play kind of came out in the Great Depression era, so that was really important to leave the theater thinking like there's no place like home, even when home was such a difficult, when people were having such a rough time. But I was thinking, and I think that there's not only no place like home, but there's no place like here, and I'd like to talk about that with you today.
This is Better Positive You, the show that works to make your life better.
So this is actually a topic of lots of songs people really like. They don't always come right out and say it, but I think that a lot of songs talk about how wonderful things are right now, how people are having such a good time, or how wonderful things were and they didn't notice it, or they didn't recognize it or acknowledge it because they're so focused on what was going to happen. So you hear all the time people making like really profound statements about life, which I think is really funny because I think lots of people talk about life graduating from high school and their senior quotes or whatever, and they don't really know a whole lot about life yet, at least compared to a lot more older, more experienced people. But life is something that I think everyone can kind of agree is really precious. But you only have so much time here on Earth, and that's something you want to use the best that you can. So a kind of obvious statement, but something that people don't recognize all the time, is that you're never going to have the experiences you're having right now ever again. You might have the same, or you might have a similar experience, like you go into work every day at 9 o'clock, but never again is it going to be exactly the same. Never again will the moons be aligned as they are, or whatever. Maybe... That's kind of a silly statement too, because maybe your life changes in ways that don't matter, like from day to day. Like there's not huge changes from work day to work day, but there are some. But at the same time, those changes don't matter. But some experiences really are kind of like single time or single use experiences, and that's something to remember. I don't know why, but it just makes me think of how I've heard in my life, you can only spend your money once, and not every experience or good thing comes from money, but that's something to remember. You can only spend your money or your time or your energy one time, and then you have to build it back up again. So I can't remember where this quote comes from, but I just keep thinking about the quote that something like yesterday was the past, tomorrow's the future, and today is not only a present but a gift. And this quote just makes me rethink what the present means to me, especially during hard times. I know some of you out there are probably struggling with things, probably all of you struggling with different things, but some of you in particular are really struggling, and you're kind of listening to this and thinking, like, what is this guy talking about? There couldn't be anything worse than what I'm going through right now. And I think that it's easy to say that and easy to think that in a bad moment. But what takes some real skill is finding silver linings to dark clouds. I know it's like a real cliche thing, but maybe even silver linings to the dark clouds that are hanging over your head. Raining on you all day. But I think that there is always something or a few things that are better now than they will be, maybe not always, but better now than at another time. For example, you might think, I can't wait to have my own family. Then I'll be happy because I will have people that love me around me all the time. You could also look at the situation and say, maybe you're not as happy as you would be with your own family in the future someday, but you are appreciative of the free time you have that you have because you're not committed to someone else or to your kids or whatever. And that sounds really negative and kind of like you hate people, but you're not more thankful for your free time. You're just thankful right now for the free time that you have. This is just one example that I can think of that might help you to find the silver linings in your own life, even in the hardest of times. So one thing that bothers me, and I know bothers a lot of people, but bothers me because I'm going to university right now and everything, is not knowing what's ahead. You really wish that you just had a plan ahead of you. You had it laid out for you, and you knew when you're going to meet someone, when you're going to get a job, when you're going to bite the bullet and die or whatever. Sometimes you don't wish so much you knew the bad things. And the good things you don't want to know because they're surprises. But that's just it. You don't want to know exactly when everything's going to happen or when things are going to fall into place. And sometimes it's another real cliche thing, but ignorance is bliss. Because you may not get what you want for a long time. And maybe if you knew you'd be really sad and down, but while you don't know, you can just be hopeful and happy for what you have, not knowing that you will or won't get this thing in a long while. So I don't mean to paint everything as being all rosy and perfect, but I think that it is a true statement that there's no place like here, no place like right now, no place like where you are in time, in your physical presence right now. There's just nothing like it, whether it's good or bad. And I would take that to your advantage both ways. If it's a good time, you're doing well, everything's going your way. Really just recognize that and recognize that everything's going your way, and maybe it won't be that way forever. So enjoy it all you can. But on the flip side, I think that it's also a positive thing to know that there's nothing like right now if you're going through hard times. If something is not going your way and you really want it to, you can just say, like, oh, nothing will ever be like yesterday exactly. Maybe it'll be similar, and maybe you'll still have to slog through some pretty rough times for a while, but each day you can just say, oh, nothing will be like that again, or I'll never have to go through that exact thing again. So hopefully this helps you out, and hopefully either way it helps you to be more positive and appreciate what you have right now and what's going well for you. So what I'd really like to see is for you to take this lesson, this idea, and go forward and succeed with it, and never let a time of feeling down or anything like that stop you from succeeding in the future. It's easy to be bummed out for lots of silly reasons, like, oh, I don't have that fancy sports car, or oh, my life isn't as good as so-and-so's across the street, or whatever. But there are always a few reasons, at least, to stay happy and positive and keep going forward. And if we just hang on to those reasons and really work at them, work to remember them and hold them close and dear to our hearts, then we can really get through anything and be very successful. So try to remember that not only is there no place like home, but there's no place like here, no place like right now, where you are today, and whether it's good or bad. So if it's good, just try to keep it going and appreciate what's going well for you. And if it's bad, just put it behind you and say nothing could be as bad as that, and hopefully you're not surprised by something worse. But just trying to keep positive is really important, I think. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and let me know by hitting that like button, and consider checking out some of my other videos or subscribing. And go ahead and check out the blog post that'll be linked in the description below. And until next time, remember to work your hardest to become a better, more positive you.